Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome to week 18 of the New York Jets on the Knicks Jets Etc. podcast. The season is finally over. It is, what was it, week 36 of this horrific nonsense that we've had going on. Congrats to you. You've made it. You're
Yeah.
listening to us. You're a masochist just like us. You love pain. And speaking of pain, Greg, speaking of, I never thought my philosophy major would come into handy at any single point in my life when it came to sports. But
Yeah.
we're here, man. We're here. We're in the prisoner's dilemma where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't with these stupid New York Jets because we made a stupid decision. In your estimation, two stupid wins this year with the Texans and the Washington R words. For me, it was just the Washington win was terrible. Either way, the New York Jets are stupid no matter how you slice it. And here we are. You either beat the New England Patriots for the first time in 18 straight games, or you beat Bill Belichick in supposedly his last season, which I'm telling you right now, it is not his last season. If you're a New York Jets fan, you're listening to me right now, know one thing. Do not get your hopes up, even one penny. He's coming back to coach the New England Patriots. He just might not be the GM. He's coming back. He's not going anywhere. So forget all that noise. Greg, what do we do? Do the Jets win this game? Which they're plus 2.5 here. It's basically a pick 'em game here versus the New England Patriots, and the Patriots are right now it's a number 3 seed. Or the Jets gonna win this game, go to the 12 seed, or they're gonna lose this game and hang around the 8-9 seed, maybe even hit the 7. Who knows?
I've been saying it for 3 weeks now. We're gonna be picking 12. 10 to 12. That's what it seems like we pick every single season. We're right there right now. What are we? Third, fourth,
You know,
the
it feels like we
eighth?
pick sixth every year for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
10th to
it's somewhere in
12.
that range. I mean, right now we're eighth. I think unfortunately, as the Jets jet, I think we're gonna win this game. I think we're gonna win this game. I think New England's gonna get Caleb Williams, and they're gonna have Caleb Williams for the next 20 years. And
How?
everyone who's been clapping and cheering about winning games and all this stuff, oh, it's good for morale. We don't want Brees Hall to be in a locker room with people that are losing. What does that say about the team? What does it say about the culture? Well, we're going to do a lot of
Hold
losing
on.
when Caleb Williams goes to New England.
Time out. The Panthers/Bears are locked up into the first seed.
Yeah, do you know who has the easiest lift to get the number one overall pick if they're trading it? The 2 seed.
Oh, you think the Bears are going to trade down to the 2 seed?
Could be. Sure.
Okay, no, okay. I mean, yeah, that's a little down the road here, but
Yeah.
at least for this week, the Patriots are not locking in the first seed, and Caleb Williams is the
No.
unanimous first pick. So they're not.
No.
Let's not get crazy there. No
No,
matter
I'm
what,
not.
they're
I'm
not
not saying.
locking up
I'm
Caleb
definitely
Williams.
not saying that they could be the first seed. I'm saying they would be locking in the second seed, and the team that has to trade the least amount of capital to get the first overall pick is the team that's picking second, which would be New England.
Yeah, I don't
That's all
think
I'm
they're gonna be
saying.
picking second. I don't think they'll be picking second, but yeah,
Right now they're
I think
second. Right now they're second.
right now they're third. The way I'm looking at it right now, it's strength of schedule.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking at
Washington.
ESPN whole league. I see New England second to last, but it could be based on this coming week's schedule. I don't know.
So on Tankathon, they have the first tiebreaker is strength of schedule, so they have it here, and so
Okay.
their strength of schedule is 518, and the Washington is 515. It's the lowest wins, with the teams you're playing. So Washington right now is ahead of them. Right now, New England's picking third, but they're virtually tied. Right, Washington, New England, and Arizona are all 3, 4, and 12. Looks like Arizona has no shot based on strength of schedule to get ahead of them. They're at 562.
And do you
So
know if you play a better team, does your strength of schedule go up or down?
it's
Do you know? Do we know that?
like if you play better teams,
Like Washington is playing Dallas this week. New England is playing the Jets. So Dallas is a better team than New England. So will Washington's strength of schedule move up to a higher number, or will it move down to a lower number when they play Dallas?
That's a great question.
No idea. Much like PF
Yeah.
said on part of my take, I don't know what any of these stats actually mean. I just know what they mean enough to yell about them.
Yeah, I just know. I look at the number and I know.
Yeah.
Usually, I just put it in the playoff machine, and
Yeah,
it tells me exactly what I need to know.
because that's what I'm wondering. Like, yeah, like Washington plays Dallas, Arizona plays Seattle, New England plays the Jets. So if a playing crappy team worsens your strength of schedule, I don't know. That is down the road. That is down the path. That is in the weeds. Unfortunately, that's where we're at as Jets fans, because I don't know what you want us to do. Hey, do you want us to handicap the Thursday game against Cleveland? We suck. We know they're going to throw the ball to the tight end. We know they're going to throw the ball to the running back. Njoku had 200 yards. Joe Flacco looked like he was 23 again, throwing bombs, getting ready for a deep playoff run. Jerome Ford had 2 passing touchdowns. Like, we just know these things now for 20 years. For 10 years, John and I have known each other. For 5 years, we've been screaming about it online. We just know what's going to happen, and for some reason, the Jets just cannot stop it. So that's my handicapping of the Cleveland Browns game on Thursday night. We got our asses kicked on prime time again for the 100th time in the exact way we know it's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. There's no players you can sign. You could have all pro defensive players all over the field. For some reason, the tight end is going to get 200 passing yards. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know how it only happens to us. Tight ends suck across the league this year. It's the worst year for tight ends in the league. But yet, we just allow a 200-yard receiving tight end every week, it seems like.
Yeah, but we don't know what we're talking about, though.
We have no clue.
Yeah, so, I mean, if we can't guard a running back out of the backfield
2
for
touchdowns.
as long as I live, I'm not going to be 1% shocked.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's just where the Jets are right now. We're getting into the weeds here about the end of the draft order here. The truth of the matter is, what's up?
I really do think the Jets win this game. I really do think New England locks up the 2nd overall pick.
I mean, that is the worst possible case scenario.
Yep. And again, if we lost to Washington, we would have the 2nd overall pick right now. Just Washington. I was saying Washington and Houston earlier, but now looking at Tankathon, if we lost to Washington, we would have
5th.
Why?
Because we have 6 wins right now.
We have 6 wins, yeah.
We'd be 5th right now, which is a nice spot.
Which is a nice spot, much better spot than we're at. Where you're looking at your premier left tackle to block for Aaron Rodgers, something we all know and need at 8th.
Yeah, so we're at 8th right now. We're at 8th right now, and we control our own destiny for the 8th spot. We're on an island in the 8th spot.
Yeah, true.
We lose this game, we're guaranteed to be in the 8th spot. All right, that is the floor.
Yep.
You end up a couple things happen our way. Now it's fan fiction the other way for me, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Tennessee has a big game against Jacksonville's Derrick Henry's farewell game at home. Vrabel is trying to win this football game, and it looks like CJ Beathard is the quarterback for Jacksonville. Yep. Tennessee has a shot. They have a shot. Chargers. Now that's coming back to bite them. If they end up winning this game, Chiefs are benching everyone. Easton Stick at home. Interim head coach trying to win some games. That win versus us might come back to bite them. And then now the Jets are smart for the first time in their life. Even though that game drove me nuts. That game drove me absolutely wild. And by the way, look who's 7-9 right behind us. The Las Vegas Raiders. Team that beat us. Game that I was very upset about. So just those couple of games that do flip. You know what I mean? And Atlanta Falcons right behind us. 7-9. Again, a game that drove me insane. Again, we win those games. We're looking at playoffs. We lose those games. At least we're ahead of them. Like that is the silver lining we are here. So they did have some good things, some silver linings this year. And in the offseason, we will talk about the positives from not our offensive line, maybe a little bit like Tittman. There you go. That's talking offensive line. But other than that, we'll talk about the positives from our offense and from our defense and the negatives and how we're going to move on and what the contracts are as offseason goes on.
Yeah.
But that's for now. Man, if Tennessee just beats the Jaguars, the Chargers beat the Chiefs that aren't showing up, just those 2 things happen, and we lose our game like we're supposed to, we could end up being the 6th seed. That's 2 offensive linemen going top 6 it would be a crazier deal than anything, especially with 2 quarterbacks already. I mean, that'd be a wild
And
top
Marvin
6.
Harrison's definitely penciled in for a top 5 pick.
Yeah, so that if you're adding 3 quarterbacks, Marvin Harrison, and then the 2 offensive linemen right away, I mean, sure, but that'd be a wild. That'd be wild.
I can't imagine. Right, I also can't imagine no defensive guy is going to go there. So yeah, that's a lot to pencil in those top 5, 6 picks.
So if we can get the 6th pick, the Jets are sitting pretty. Honestly, sitting pretty. They're pretty.
We're getting the scraps. We're not getting a choice of who we get, but we will get something.
Okay, Greg, let's pivot a little bit here, because I was thinking today, and honestly, it was a lot about how you were right. I wanted to tell you on this podcast because
I appreciate that.
I'm a little worried about how the Jets are going to deal with this offseason. And it is week 18, but I feel like this is an appropriate time to talk about it, because we're gonna go all into the mist. We're gonna all Ocean's 11 each other as soon as this last game's over. You know what I mean? We're gonna reconvene.
And I'll see you in April for the draft, and we'll just 12 it up.
Yeah, we'll be recording episodes, but just for the most part, the Jets fandom, right? We have the New York Rangers who are killing it. We got the New York Knicks who are making nice trades and doing something in the Eastern Conference. Like, there's plenty of other things to think about right now.
Yeah.
NFL playoffs, right? Like, whatever. But here's the thing, man. Robert Saleh, Nathaniel Hackett, Joe Douglas are all coming back next year.
And
Aaron Rodgers. They all, honestly, including Aaron, are on a 1-year playoff mandate deal. They all are.
Yep.
The problem with that, Greg, is when you operate like that, when you operate with no future, it tends to be like, what's the word? Like, satisfaction now, pay for the long-term loss later. And it ends up, and the problem is it also ends up building pressure for now. And this boomer bust is just more likely to bust in general, right? Like, it's just, the odds of it just in general are more like now add the New York Jets in there, right? That aspect, and then add the new offensive line aspect in there, and it's really, subject to bust more likely than not, at least. So my worry is, and going into this offseason, right, because this is all my friends are talking about now, right, is, right, we're all upset about Joe Douglas, right? Saffold's now going into a playoff team. We cut him, didn't play second. Dalvin Cook being cut, he's going to the Ravens, didn't play second. So now we're thinking, what's going to happen this offseason? Are we going to trade featured picks for win now? Are we still, like, trying to build? Like, what is your philosophy going into this offseason, again, before we know exactly where our draft pick is? But I think consensus is we want an offensive lineman. Worst case, we get Marvin Harrison. I think that's what the consensus is, right, for the draft. So let's just operate with that mindset. Like, what do you want for the Jets to do this obviously we know we want offensive linemen and stuff, but, like, how do you want them to operate? Do you want them to trade future picks? Do you want them to keep trying to move contracts, restructure? Because they're already biting us in the butt. Like, CJ Uzomah is on this team next year. Like, whether we like it or not, we restructured him last year to move money. You know what I mean? So that's that we took that bullet. We were all okay with it last year. Now you're upset about it. Too bad. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of wondering how you want to operate here. Going to, like, we have a philosophy with the Knicks, for example, where you're happy that we have a bunch of draft picks and we're still continuing to build, right? Like, what do you want this Jets team to do when we see Aaron Rodgers? We see that everybody else is on a 1-year deal.
Dude, I think it's going to be contrary to what 99% of people are going to say. It's definitely contrary to what Twitter, Jets Twitter is going to say. I think Aaron Rodgers said it best. RELAX. Like, just relax. Just chill out this offseason. Don't go crazy. Draft offensive lineman. Sign offensive lineman. The team is set. The table is ready. The food is out. We are good to go. The guests are here. All you have to say is, let's eat. Like, that's it. Aaron Rodgers doesn't get hurt. None of the conversations we're having this whole season for the last 4 months happened. Like, it's such a two roads divided that it's like, why don't we just hit a time machine and go back to when Aaron Rodgers was healthy and we just pick up from where we left off? That atmosphere in that stadium was something unlike anything I've ever seen before, watching from home 200 miles away. Like, let's get back to that. If we get back to that, all we need is a healthy Aaron Rodgers. The team is set. Like, we have all our young pieces. The defense is still going to be great. We're going to need to sign some pieces here and there, but don't go crazy and draft Brock Bowers in the first round. Like, we don't need any of that stuff. Like, just calm down.
We
Draft,
can't. We can't
draft.
draft the tight end. We can't
Yeah,
because
like,
we have Uzama, Conklin, and Rucker already on the
they're not
books.
going anywhere.
They're on the
So,
books.
yeah, unless we trade them, and even then, it doesn't help us. So, yeah, it's draft 2 offensive linemen in this draft. Draft a couple other pieces. Don't trade anything. If you get a good trade, you get a good trade. But like,
so are you
I don't think we have to trade our 3rd round pick, our 4th round pick, and Zach Wilson for Devonta Adams.
Forget Zach, because Zach is going to get traded for a 6th round pick. We're all going to cry about that later.
Right.
But I'm talking about, like, are you trading next year's 2nd for Devontae?
Probably.
Okay. So you are kind of sacrificing the future and our book.
If it's just a 2nd round pick for Devonta Adams, yeah.
I
don't think it would be. I think it would be much more than that. They traded 2 firsts 2 years ago.
Yeah, but he's a little bit older.
Yeah, 2 years.
His contract is worse. But yeah.
That's all true.
We'll see. Okay, would you give up a first?
Just 1 first?
Yeah, 1 first next year.
Yeah, next year, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by sacrifice the future. Like, are you pushing your money all in? Where honestly, if it falls on our face and we're not successful this year, like say we lose in the next year and we lose in the 1st, 2nd round, whatever, like we might suffer. Like the next 4 or 5 years.
The draft picks are one thing because yes, you're losing out on capital, and you don't know who's going to be available when you would be picking there. But the money thing is what scares me. Like moving all the money around and extending people and dead years and dead cap and all this stuff. Like I don't want to get in a situation that the Rams are in or the Saints are in where it's like we just can't sign anyone for the next 3 years. Like I don't want to do that. Like I'm not that all in on this whole Aaron Rodgers thing. Like the Aaron Rodgers thing is a shot in the dark. It's an experiment. It's trading for a 40-something-year-old quarterback. Yes, it's the best quarterback we've ever had as a Jets fan in our entire lives. And I want to see him healthy. I want to see him on the field. I want to see some of that magic we saw in that one drive of the preseason. That's all we got from him. But, after next season, if we win a playoff game and he's like, yo, I'm out, like I can't keep doing it, okay, then we have to get back to doing something. If he gets us 2 or 3 years like he says he wants to do, that's incredible. But I think there's a 10% chance that happens.
Yeah, I'm just worried about the mindset of everybody being on their last year and us kind of mortgaging the future. But then again, I kind of want to mortgage the future a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we have to keep going all in. I don't think we have to keep mortgaging the future over and over because it's not like we have Patrick Mahomes where it's like, okay, we have 20 years of this dude. Let's try to win something right now. And then we'll take us 3 or 4 years to rebuild, but then we'll rebuild. Like we'll do the Tom Brady thing where every 6 years we're competing for Super Bowls and we're trying to get 3-peats off. Like we don't have that. We have one chance to win one time, and that's going to be it. So,
okay, here's the other thing. So this year, you keep saying draft offensive lineman. We have the 1st round pick, a 3rd round, 2 fourths. We have Denver's and the 6th round. That's the only picks we have this year.
Yep.
If you keep saying offensive lineman, I mean, we still need a safety. We still need a nose tackle. We still need a couple wide receivers. Mm-hmm. Are you drafting a quarterback at the end here? Okay. No quarterback.
No, I don't see the value of drafting a 5th round quarterback. 6th round quarterback.
Even the kid from Tulane?
Nope. Michael Pratt, I loved you. You were great to bet on. I would rode the green wave. I was all for it. He ain't doing it in the NFL.
Jaden Daniels gets to the 3rd round.
That's something I would think about.
Jordan Travis, 6th, 4th.
Yeah. I would think about all those things, but all those things aren't going to happen. I think Jaden Daniels is a first round pick. I think Jordan Travis is a second round pick. Like
Jordan
I think,
Travis with his leg. You think second round?
yeah, I think it's just I think it's a clean break. It's not an ACL. It's not like it's just a clean broken leg. He's going to be back, and I'm sure he's walking around on it now.
Penix first round,
No, Penix.
fourth round,
If you're
third.
on Jets Twitter talking about we should draft Michael Penix, you do not watch college football. You don't know college football, and you don't know NFL drafts. You're just, oh, I like this guy. This guy looks good. I watched 2 games. This guy looks good. He's 24. He's torn his ACL twice, one in each leg. We're going to draft a guy that has 2 blown ACLs. He stinks. He's playing
Okay,
good this season. It's
I
his
was with
6th
you.
year.
No, he played
It's
good
his
last season.
6th season. He's 24 playing against 19-year-old kids that don't know what they're doing. He is going to stink in the NFL. Anthony Richardson is 22. Like, these people that are drafted high are young prospects that have played well for their age. They haven't been in the college game for 6 years.
So you're taking Penix in the fourth?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not taking anyone with a drafted with an injury history.
All right. All right. So no quarterbacks for Greg. Offensive lineman only.
Offensive lineman in the third, in the first, and the fourth. Draft your safety or your nose tackle in the third and the fourth. You're good to go. Sign some wide receivers. Draft a wide receiver in the fourth or the sixth. Whatever you want to do down there.
Six round wide receivers don't
Yeah,
work out.
and then sign a wide receiver in the offseason. You have Alan Lazard in the books. Go sign T. Higgins or whoever else you want to be the true wide receiver 2. Alan Lazard will be a 3 like he's always should have been.
Don't forget, we still have to sign our kicker and punter.
Yeah. And figure all that stuff in the offseason. Like safety is going to have to be addressed in the offseason. Like just what's going to happen. Ashton Davis, Tony Adams, whoever it is. Bring back Whitehead, like whatever it is.
Well, Tony Adams is the only one on the books.
Yeah. Yep. So it's going to be some combination of those guys. You know, I've liked Whitehead. I think Whitehead's played well. If we can sign him and keep him, that'd be great. I don't know. I forget who the guy was that we signed who didn't even get on the field. Has been out all season. Chuck something or other.
Chuck Clark.
I don't know if we sign him and bring him back. No, I'm not sure.
Everybody else is a free agent. All right. Well, this was the most depressing Week 18 episode ever. We're just kind of.
I'll depress you one last time because it's a dark thought, it's a deep thought that I had this week, and I'll leave you with this to think about and toil as we get ready for this final Sunday game against the New England Patriots, which I really do think we're going to win. I think
it's my Christmas. It's an Orthodox Christmas. I'm hoping to not watch one single second of this game. That's my Christmas wish.
All the talk about Robert Saleh and all this stuff, this coaching staff, they go out there, they beat Belichick for the first time, possibly Bill Belichick's last game. I know it's not really, but just the storylines for a couple weeks. I think that'd be very Jets and very fitting. This was the season to win it all, John. This was it. Nobody got hurt on this team. You look around the league and you look at all the teams, besides Aaron Rodgers and besides the offensive line, but that's it.
Yeah.
Every skill position is healthy. The whole defense is healthy. Everyone is healthy, John. You look around the league, what's Buffalo's problem? The defense has been decimated for the whole entire season. What's Miami's problem? Their defense is getting decimated. Their offense is getting decimated by injuries. All these teams fall off. The Bengals lost it because one guy went down. We lost it because one guy went down. I get that. This was the season. Like, so many teams have so many injuries. I'm just so scared in future years that Aaron Rodgers is going to be healthy, but the injury bug comes for one, comes for all. It's going to be there. And it just drives me crazy. I'm happy that everyone was healthy this season, but it just drives me crazy that if one injury didn't happen, I really do think we're in the playoffs right now, and we're not even concerned about the first round. Like, we're talking about, like, what's the path to the Super Bowl type stuff. And
I
it's
agree,
just
but it was more than one injury. Like the offensive line injuries did hurt, man. Like how long was Aaron Rodgers gonna last with Billy Turner and Chris Glazer? Like he would do better. He would do
yeah.
better. I agree, but it's still how long would he last? Like he's gonna get hurt. Like
Yeah, but you
eventually
don't
he
know
would have
how
got hurt.
healthy those guys would have been with Aaron Rodgers back there. Like they might not be running
Yeah,
around as much. They might not be
yeah,
put in as many
true.
awkward positions. You just don't know.
Yeah, that's
And
true. It's just for
it's
me,
just
from
the
I
whole
get that
defense is
dark thought.
healthy.
I get that dark thought, Greg. But honestly, man, I feel like the Jets have an excuse this year. Like they have an excuse,
Yeah.
and this is the last time. That's it. With this regime, it's the last excuse for them. It's the last excuse for Aaron. Like if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt again, guess what, dude? It's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if the offensive line gets hurt, if AVT gets hurt again, dude, it's over. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like there's no more. There's no more. And on even more positive, yes, I agree. Thank God, Brees Hall and Garrett. I know you don't want to say it out loud, but
Yeah.
thank God, Brees Hall and
We
Garrett
know the
Wilson
names you're
made it
thinking,
through.
yep.
But yo, you know what they say? Brees Hall is coming off an ACL, and they say that year 2 is when you get your wheels back.
You see
I
his
mean,
tweet
I'm
today. He's
excited
pretty
for
pissed
year
about not making
2.
the Pro Bowl.
I'm excited for year 2 Brees Hall, man.
Yeah.
I know this was year 2 technically, but I'm excited for year 2 off the ACL. And
It's
I'm
true.
excited for Garrett Wilson, man. Garrett
Yep.
Wilson with Aaron Rodgers. I think now he's cemented himself, as sad as that is, into the Jets Hall of Fame for wide receivers, the second consecutive 1,000-yard season. And honestly, I think he's going to start having a say.
Yeah.
Like, even like the QB2, I think he's going to have a say.
You should.
So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you in the offseason. Enjoy
Yes.
this crappy game. This is going to be 18-13 Patriots. What do you got?
Oh, I think it's 27-13 Jets.
That would be disgusting. Trevor Siemian scoring 27 points in Foxborough versus Bill Belichick would be honestly the craziest thing the Jets have done this year. Straight
A
up.
couple dumps off to Brees Hall. Brees Hall runs it for 50 yards. Garrett Wilson breaks one for 60. You never know.
That doesn't happen though. Even when we score, it's always defense gets a turnover and we're in position.
Yeah.
Special teams does something, we're in position. It's never a 50-yarder.
Yeah,
It's never
Brees Hall's
explosive
like
play.
long runs are like 30 yards for a touchdown. It's crazy, but it's true.
I just hope honestly, I just hope that Brees and Garrett don't play this week. But I know it's not going to happen. I'm nervous about this week. I just want this season to end. All right. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you in the offseason.
Let's go Jets. Please lose this freaking game. Please, God. Let's go Patriots. I love you, New England. Let's go. Let's go. You see Tom Brady's tweet? He's the man today.
Gross. That lighthouse is awesome. Gross.
I love the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Shout out.